Okay, my point of saying all this is, past all the obvious part of it, how did you feel playing that last show, knowing it was the last show?
Very emotional, especially because I was a New York kid, we all were, although I wasn't born in America. I know I don't look Swiss. So the band started at 10 East 23rd Street, which was 10 blocks away from Madison Square Garden.
So it literally was full circle.
Literally. And I remember I was a 20-year-old kid walking 10 blocks to see who's playing Madison Square. And you'd see Elvis and stuff like that.
Did you go to shows back then, or did you couldn't afford it?
I was one of those classic Jews who simply refused to spend any money and lived at home until I was with my mother, till I was 20. I mean, we were playing Anaheim Stadium, headlining. It happened very fast for the band.
Yeah.
And I was living at my mom's house. That's how you know Jesus was Jewish. He lived with his mother until he was 33 years old. He thought his mother was a virgin, all that stuff. And it was emotional because somehow the journey, even salmon returned to spawn where they were bred, that sort of homecoming thing.
It sounds trite to say, but did it go fast in your mind?
No, I remember every minute and I've never used drugs or alcohol, which is why I can put my hand in front of my face and it doesn't do that. So the mind is clear and I recall tastes, smells, things. I remember seeing people's faces, and the overwhelming image I remember is as you're looking around and making, eye contact with somebody in the middle of, the passion and the playing. And you know what that's like when you're on stage and you really feel it and it sounds good and everything. And they start crying. They get that thing, because it's childhood. It's not just because it's us. It happens to any great band that's on stage that has a history, because music is the soundtrack of their lives.
Yeah, it's humbling when you see it.
Oh, it's, I'm supposed to be Darth Vader and the Big Bad John and all that. I've got to turn my back often so that they don't see.
So you're on stage, it's the last show. Like, does it hit you? Like, are you like, I'm glad it's over, it's been amazing, I'm alive?
No, not glad. It's funny, there's a coin that has two different sides. There's sadness and there's pride. There's the sadness of, at some point you got to leave mom and dad and go off on the next chapter of the journey of life. On the other hand, you're proud that four knuckleheads off the streets of New York with no resume, no experience, no right to be here, no right to wear higher heels and more makeup than your mommy ever wore, were given a chance to make truckloads of money and chicks.
But look, money and success has always been part of the KISS story.
There's no question.
But you did it.
It's true. So all that.
It's like the Jimmy Cagney movie, right? You know what I mean? You did it, right? You did it. You reached the pinnacle of the thing. There's no higher place to be than you got.
It's about as high as I ever imagined it. And as a kid, I remember seeing the Beatles on TV, and I was awestruck by the idea that you could look different, because I never saw guys who were sort of trim and small like that, very feminine, moving in a kind of because guys were...
Right, especially 50s New York, right?
Yeah, you had to walk, you had to have your guy thing on when you walk down the street. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? There's that street thing. It's culture. And all of a sudden you go, all right, yeah, she'll be all right, yeah, all right. They're friendly and almost feminine with the haircuts. And I had never seen anything like that. And I remember thinking they looked silly. And my mother walked in and told me how silly they looked. And precisely at that moment, a singularity hit me. That's when I knew they were cool. Because all of a sudden I heard my mother say, they look silly. No, I think they're kind of, well, the girls are...
Well, what do they say about KISS in the beginning?
Oh, well, not everybody likes Jesus either, Billy.
4 Jesuses, not just one. Or 2 Jesuses, depending on who you ask.
I got lots of...